Well, from what I gathered, he basically was trying to say no one should compare NBA and WNBA players together because he could beat you guys in basketball in one-on-one when he was in 8th grade and you guys were in high school.
I think, and this is my personal opinion,
Sophie Cunningham is gearing up to do what she's become known for, making her critics crumble. And not just once, but twice in a row. First, she dropped a truth bomb that rippled through the WNBA. Then, before anyone had even caught their breath, she followed it with a huge reveal about her future in basketball that sent shockwaves across the entire league. So let's break down everything that unfolded. But first, smash that like button if you enjoy an old school Sophie Cunningham moment where she speaks her mind without hesitation. Here's where the whole thing first began. It all started when NBA forward Michael Porter Jr. appeared on the Ball in the Family podcast with Lonzo Ball. The two were just casually chatting, and out of nowhere, the conversation drifted toward the WNBA. And once they started discussing the age at which an NBA player could be a WNBA player, well, let's just say they didn't hold back in the slightest.
I mean this as respectfully as possible, but 9th grade Lonzo Ball in the WNBA is going crazy. Like in 9th grade, I'm over 6 feet and I'm dunking. Like I'm coming through like no girl in the WNBA is doing that. I'm going back door, throw it up. Like I'm looking like Jordan out there.
I'm gonna go probably 8th grade. Because look, bro, I have real experience doing this because I played, my sisters went to University of Missouri and I was still a young dude, and they had me playing like on the scout team. And they had a few WNBA players on the team, like Sophie Cunningham and a couple others. And I think I was like in the 7th or 8th grade going dumb.
Between Porter and Lonzo, they essentially claimed that standout middle school boys would dominate WNBA players. And unsurprisingly, the backlash hit immediately. Former WNBA star Angel McCoughtry went on the Higher Learning podcast and completely tore into Porter for what he said.
Angel, why are men so obsessed with this conversation?
First of all, congratulations. You was dominating against women in the 8th grade. What does he want? Does he want a cookie? You want a medal for that? Like, the only thing that should be coming out of a man's mouth about women is uplifting her.
This is the first thing we need to unpack, because it touches on a major issue within the WNBA conversation. Angel opened by saying the only thing Porter should be doing is supporting women, which basically implies that any form of criticism is off limits. But here's the reality. This is sports. Comparisons happen constantly. Criticism is unavoidable. Like it or not, it comes with being a well-known athlete. Alright, now back to Angel. Because what she said next is what really got people talking.
I think the main thing we should be talking about, a woman, guess what? When I gotta come and drop 40 and I'm on my period and I'm bleeding and my stomach hurts and my back hurts when y'all load manage off a headache, let's talk about how awesome that is. Let's talk about how awesome it is that women, we have these babies and we come back and still dominate sports.
Look, I'm not going to spend forever breaking this down, but I need to point out a few things. Load management. Seriously, for years, WNBA players played a 34-game regular season. Now it's bumped up to 44. Meanwhile, NBA players go through 82 regular season games, then playoffs, plus national team commitments, plus all-star weekend events. Playing through discomfort is part of the job when you're a professional athlete regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. And Angel's next point was really the final touch on her entire rant.
This is a narrative from Michael Porter Jr. Do you have any thoughts on him?
He talks about the WNBA a lot. I would love to see him come practice with us one time. Come practice with us. You know, I think he needs to see the ins and outs of how hard we do work and how much we do put our bodies through. Because sometimes they just look through this lens from the outside and they don't really see the inside. And I think if he came and spent the day with us, he would have a new appreciation.
Here's the part Angel seems to be completely overlooking. Nothing Porter said had anything to do with questioning the women's effort, discipline, or the amount of work they put in. He can fully respect how hard WNBA players grind. Nobody is disputing their commitment. All he was saying is that when he was 14, He believes he could have beaten any WNBA player in a one-on-one matchup or a pickup game. And that leads us to Sophie, who, as you might remember, was specifically named by Porter during that conversation. You'd assume that if anyone should have a qualified opinion on this, it would be the person mentioned directly. Sophie addressed his comment on our podcast, Show Me Something, and let's just say she shut the conversation down in a way that upset a whole lot of people.
You are a professional football player, basketball player, really any sport, but let's just take it basketball because that's where we're both at. Like, to me, like, if you're in that elite level group, yeah, you should be able to beat the girls. Like, I'm not surprised by that. Like, that is not but I just don't get why it's continuing to get brought up. And like, if women are saying that, like, he couldn't beat them, yeah, he could. Any NBA star or player could beat a female in high school.
Okay.
Sophie doesn't think anything about his statement is controversial, and honestly, should anyone, she's just being truthful, she's acknowledging the reality of the situation. There's no disrespect behind it, there's no negativity attached to it. And when she was pushed on the topic again, she didn't back off even a little, she doubled down even harder.
Do you think an 8th grader could hang? A group of elite 8th graders could beat a WNBA team?
I mean, if they're future pros, dude, I mean, it just depends how big they are at that age. Like,
well, yeah.
And the majority of the time, if they're going pro, unless you're a late bloomer, like, you're already pretty big. And like, I mean,
they're massive 8th grade boys.
Yeah. So I would say that's like, I mean, it's probably true. Like I don't want to be unrealistic or delusional. Like, men are just stronger, bigger, athletic. Like, they just are a different build. And so if you put them up against females, I'm like, well, yeah, they're going to win.
One of the big questions that people kept asking both Angel and Sophie was why this debate keeps resurfacing again and again in basketball circles. And the reason is simple. There are genuinely people who believe WNBA players could compete. Directly with NBA players, you've got fans, analysts, and commentators who have seriously argued that elite WNBA athletes could hold their own in the NBA.
That's why it gets brought up, Sophie Cunningham, because a lot of ladies do say that they could beat the men. That's why it gets brought up to a certain extent. A lot of people do say that these WNBA players can beat a D1 college kid, can beat a high-level elite high school kid. A lot of fans in the WNBA say this, think this, believe this, will die on a hill professing this.
But regardless of where you stand on the argument, Sophie was hit with an avalanche of criticism from hardcore WNBA supporters for simply telling the truth. They attacked her from every possible angle, calling her a pick-me, accusing her of downplaying women's achievements to appeal to male fans, claiming she was throwing the WNBA under the bus for attention. All of this just because she answered a basic question openly and without political framing. But if fans were angry about Sophie's truth bomb, that was nothing compared to what she had lined up next. She dropped another announcement, and this one has major consequences for the future of women's basketball.
Guys, I am so excited to announce that I'm actually joining Project B's athlete roster. I am so thrilled for it. It is giving women's basketball a platform that is much deserving, not only here in the United States, but across the world. So come on this journey with us.
And that's right, Sophie Cunningham is officially joining Project B, a new international off-season league offering players a minimum salary of $2 million per season. Let me say that again, the minimum is $2 million. And this move is another massive blow straight to the WNBA's core. Project B has been stacking signings rapidly in recent weeks, and they're clearly not playing around. It all kicked off with Nia Agum, who serves as the WNBA Players Association president, and she made the jump in the middle of a tense CBA negotiation that's making zero progress. Sophie's signing is an even bigger deal because, by 2025, she had become one of the most recognizable and marketable faces in the entire league.
Sophie Cunningham, if you guys don't know, is by all metrics, one of the 4 biggest players in the WNBA. And I say one of the 4 biggest because there is an argument to be made in terms of virality, in terms of popular culture, in terms of who's the most well-known, in terms of, for lack of a better word, polarizing. Like, you either love Sophie Cunningham or you hate Sophie Cunningham. And a lot of non-WNBA fans love Sophie Cunningham because she just says whatever the fuck she thinks. Now, of course,
the announcement sparked a wave of criticism not just because Sophie is a polarizing figure. Project B, based on public information, has financial backing from Saudi sources. And many people are raising concerns about the ethics of accepting Saudi money. The idea of sports washing and supporting a government with a troubling human rights history. But now that both Sophie and Kelsey Mitchell, 2 of the Fevers' biggest stars, have signed with Project B, the floodgates have officially opened. And fans are asking the one obvious question: who's next?
The signing of Sophie Cunningham elevates Project B into must-watch TV territory. Fair play, Soph. It'll be interesting to see over the coming months what other Fever players follow you and Kelsey. You've really got to wonder, is Lexi Hull not far behind? I mean, let's be real here. Minimum $2 million a year salary, and that is the minimum.
And there you have it. The WNBA landscape is shifting fast, and players are making career moves that could reshape the entire future of the sport. Whether you agree with Sophie Cunningham or not, one thing is clear: this conversation is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.